Kaya. Ano, ngay matin mi buning ana women's kilo do matin mi tuka.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to another big afternoon of BoB Bhutan Premier League football. Today, it is TENSUNG FC against TSIRANG FC, and honestly, these two sides couldn't have met at a more interesting point in their seasons because both arrive with renewed belief. For TENSUNG, this is a story of evolution. At the beginning of the season, the question surrounding the military boys was simple. Could defensive organization alone keep them in the top flight? Had the structure, had the discipline, but needed a reliable way of finding goals. Stunned Transport United in their opening game with their extraordinary overhead kick from Chilewani, but producing that kind of magic every week was always going to be difficult. So now carrying those questions into the squad today, it is Ezedoji on goal, TSIRANG. Jimmy Punso, Som Punso. Kenza Doji, Likitandin Pup Doji, Sangelek, then on top Kepele Wanchu, and Chucky Wanchu in the 11 for TENSUNG. Again, over the last 6 matches, we've seen something change in this very same starting 11. TENSUNG slowly moving away from simply sitting deep and relying on the long ball. They've experimented with a more patient build-up, more short passes, more movement, a little more freedom. And even when the results weren't immediately there, the idea was becoming visible. And then last time out finally clicked. The unlikely attacking weapon came from their own captain. 6'3" centre-back Sonam Punso pushed further forward, and he responded with 2 brilliant headers to lead TENSUNG past Sugan Academy. And now comes the fascinating question. Was that simply a tactical gamble that worked once, or have TENSUNG finally discovered another dimension to their football? But right now, putting to the test is the squad from TSIRANG FC under head coach Pema. It is Antonio Dylan da Silva, their goalkeeper, Kinza TSIRANG, John Payne, Sasha, Alex Willens, Gelsen, Trigal Tamang, who's got on the start consistently. Rinchindam, Gelpema Doji, Tenzwanda, Fizal Wale, Wala Depot, and Tampi Ernest. Right now, both teams separated by 5 points at 8th and 9th. TSIRANG are at 13, TENSUNG are at 8. So a victory for TENSUNG today could finally give the military side some hope of getting the bottom table turned upside down. But again, TSIRANG will be looking to force TENSUNG into a massive dilemma. Will they send that giant captain forward again, or do they need him back against one of the most explosive attacking sides in the team again? For those of you who are unaware, TSIRANG have plenty of firepower. Started this campaign brightly, endured a difficult spell, and have now found themselves becoming one of the most entertaining sides in the competition. Even their recent draws have produced plenty to talk about. And who could forget that extraordinary 10-goal encounter against BFF Academy, where TSIRANG found themselves found the net 5 times. But perhaps even more interesting has been their evolution in the squad selection. They began the season making heavy use of their foreign contingent, all 8 spots available, all reserved for foreign players. But as the campaign has progressed, they've increasingly placed trust in their Bhutanese players as well, and that combination has made TSIRANG a very difficult side to predict. So today we have a TENSUNG side fighting for survival and beginning to discover our new identity against a TSIRANG side that has rediscovered its attacking rhythm and has shown it can hurt anyone on its day. But ladies and gentlemen, to get things going, here are your warriors, the soldiers in blue, TSIRANG in white. Ladies and gentlemen, let us wait for the national anthem before we get things going.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, Sangpo and welcome back again. Right now, an interesting bout. Both teams finding each other in the peak of their performance. Last time around in round one, it was quite a brutal loss for Tensung, who were fighting without their captain. Leading the helm, it was then Sangil Legden who led the squad. With the captain's armband, Sompunso couldn't make it for that away game down at Tsirang. Ended up with a 3-0 loss for Tensung. Tsirang, for sure, enjoying that victory, gave them the cushion they have right now over Tensung. But right now on screen, the officials responsible for holding down the match today, it is main referee Wang Chin, assisted by Hasta Badar Rai and Pasang, with the fourth official for today being Pema Sewa. So a lot to look forward to again. Last time for Tsirang. For Tensung, it was the captain who was missing. This time for Tsirang, a much more different squad. Last time they had the likes of Okuteli Michael up front. They had Stefan Stalin, who was their top scorer. They had Adash Vijay holding down the flanks. But at least this time they have fielded a pretty strong lineup. Drugal Tama, who joined them recently, started off as a name off the bench, but right now has been a name that has been called upon consistently by the head coach. Love to see that sort of trust. But right now, a lot of the pressure on Afiz Olowale up front to put up a couple of goals for himself, the former Grizzly. Maybe struggling with his production. Had a stellar last season, had a stellar season before that with City. But right now, with Tsirang quite dwindling down right now, the main guys they are going for are Alex Willen, Singawachi is on the bench, Tenzin Wanda, who had that final sprinkle to get that draw versus BFF, and Tampi Ernest, surprisingly, the defender, who had 2 goals for himself versus BFF Academy. So a lot of goals that would come in from Tsirang, but again, Tensung, hopefully they play some punts up front. Will we get to see that today? We do not know. But do let me know which squad you are behind. Do let me know what you think the result for today will be, because then again, it will be a matter of pretty much life or death for Tensung, who may want to etch themselves ever so closer to Tsirang on the leaderboards right now. But before we begin, I'll leave you to the audience. Do let me know which team you are behind. See you when we're at the whistle. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in action, and our prayers have been answered. Sompunso will continue playing up front for Tensung, with the trust on Jimmy Punso in that back line, and they do well so far. Pupdoji with an early intervention off of a cross from Tsirang. A lot of options. Tsirang could get their first goal in. Their most exciting ones have been those long ranges that have come in from Senda, that have come in from Wada, that have come in from Alex Willen especially. Only 2 goals, but both of them absolute bangers coming in from the former Grizzly. We do have Tenzwana, who's a very capable finisher as well. Tampi Ernest, who could come in. Rinchan Namge, Pimadoji could go for goal as well. Drugal Tama hasn't seen him make an attempt. But last match, it was Chilepunso is on the bench, who found the back of the net 4 minutes in against BFF. Afiz only took 2 minutes since that goal to get his first of the game. On the other end, Tensung has found success with those crosses with an exceptional bit of positioning and instinct coming in from the captain. That was the side of his play that the national team were banking on when he got that call up down to Guwahati. Bhutan would truly love to see a striker of his physical caliber to help out in our runs going forward, because that is one aspect that the national team does struggle in. Hopefully Sompunso is able to polish on his skills as they get a chance early on. And just look at the winds. Even the flags going down along with the ball. Sangalegden may want to take it quick before he has another adjustment to make. Possible target, Sompunso cross comes in, headed away by TSIRANG, but it is still right inside. Tenzin clears it off. Kinle looking for a volley straight in, but it is straight towards the welcoming arms of Antonio Dylan da Silva. TENSUNG with the throw-in, getting Sompunso involved. Again, not just his finishing aspect and his headers that were on full display last match. It was also his role being involved creatively in build-up. Made minimal mistakes, especially coming off as a centre-back. Not quite the technicality you expect from a big man, but right now he is having the fun of his life. As TENSUNG get 2 attempts back to back. Nice bit of ambition on display coming in. Chokiwanchu started off his campaign with TENSUNG as a consistent name off the bench time and time again. We'd see him being pulled off in substitutions late into the game. And right now, it is his second start, I believe, to his campaign this season. Has been amazing. Hopefully he is able to continue on with his contributions. But first up, Sangalegden will have to take that ball away from Rinchindamgil. Does seem like a hard task at hand. Alex Willen waited for that for far too long, and now TENSUNG taking it the other way. The Madoji throw-in played in, sent straight out, blocked off by Chokiwanchu, and that will earn them just a bit more time to regroup, get the spaces evaluated. And that does end up in their favor. Kinzan strong enough to send it over to Pelin, but that clearance may not have been enough to get them a steady possession back through their captain. He is able to force it out, but now Alex Willen fumble as well. Kinle unable to clear it off proper. Alex Willen may not be a guy TENSUNG will allow a lot of space to go towards. Did see how dangerous he could make these situations turn out. But only 5 minutes in, and right now TENSUNG playing the ball of their lives. Just amazing what evolution they've brought about in terms of their ball playing ability and their game as a whole. As one of 3 squads to say fully Bhutanese alongside BFF and Ugin Academy, we have to say it was quite a dreadful start to their season. Without the promise of evolution up front, it did look like TENSUNG, as great as they were playing, as magnificent as they were, it would have been hard to get out of relegation zone. But right now, the trust in their evolution has finally paid off. Even against TSIRANG, with their massive production capabilities up front, TENSUNG finally looked like they may be able to match that. What they were lacking early on was consistent win conditions. They did get marvelous goals, don't get me wrong. We did have Kinle with that amazing strike past BFF, Chilewandi with that amazing overhead past Transport United, but they were not goals that they could recreate. And right now they have Sompunso up front, and with those steady crosses coming his way, it is something that they can execute with a much higher success rate. But TSIRANG, taking possession away, will have it back towards John Payne, Sasha, Tampi Ernest, enjoying more of a midfield role with Kinzang, I believe, supporting the centre-back position. That's Gelson. Talking about consistency, must we say about his Doji as well, has had a stellar breakout season this year. His name catching the attention of so many here in the scene in Bhutan football, and deservedly so. A consistent shot stopper, amazing reflexes. Has been beaten time and time again, but not much the goalkeeper can do about it. That is the tragedy of the role, and so far he is shining in that role. Hopefully he isn't really put to the test too much today, because this is a game where Tensung may want to come out with a confident victory. With 3 points secured against Sugan Academy, and now the next on their hit list should be TSIRANG, who are not looking to give an easy way out for Tensung. Did try his luck with that range, but not much success from Alex Willen. It will go right back out for a restart for Tensung. 7 minutes in, plenty of drama between both teams right now, and it is simply escalating onwards. Back to Yezer. A calm stretch of possession. Again, what most of you may know from Tensung's game is that the running rumor was that when you play with Tensung, you supposedly hear rockets fly off. Was especially true given their preference and tendency to send every ball out with as much power as they can. But right now, you can see the tactical reliance they have built up over the course of the season. It is paying dividends. Will we see a goal from them to get this game going? Last time it was Santa who opened for Ogun Academy. Som Punso found the two responses to give Tensung the lead. Mashed up, but it was Ngaung Topke who found a goal at the hour mark to give them the victory, 3-2. And they have yet another opportunity again. Sangilekden earlier delivery was a bit off, went towards TSIRANG. Som Punso. Well, no chance for any of his teammates as that ball simply sent straight out. They do have the tailwind, makes more sense to attempt long shots from Sangilekden, or maybe even TSIRANG, who has an amazing bit of accuracy on his shots. May want to use the wind while they have that advantage, so they may have to adjust a little bit while those winds are sending that ball, pushing that ball further deeper, or further out past Antonio Dylan de Silva. Berlin cannot find advantage past Happy Ernest. The centre back right now up front. Antonio Dylan is down on the ground. Did try to salvage the situation. There again, Sompunso's instincts on point these last two games, but right now with TSIRANG's goalkeeper down. Again, a closer look in the meanwhile. Fantastic attempt from Sonam to side it out, and Kenza did well. Recovering possession, but again, not a situation TSIRANG was expecting to be in, especially this early on. Well, TSIRANG's goalkeeper, still down, is being helped up steadily. Hopefully, his form is not impacted because his intervention may very well be needed to keep Sompunsa at bay. With that, there's the whistle. Corner coming in. Header flicks it away. No danger for TSIRANG so far, and nobody near to put a bit of pressure on TSIRANG as they take that ball out. Sompunsa trying to close down that angle on that cross, but no success. And immediately all the way back over to Yezetoji without much of a struggle. Kinza. A quiet match between the two. TENSUNG so far has had the most number of advantages so far. TSIRANG, only one shot coming in from Alex Willen that was a bit hopeful in a positive note. But again, they are a team slow to start, and once they catch fire, a team hard to fend off. They do get an outside, but it is straight towards Yezetoji. Afiz almost cleaning it up, but no advantage for TSIRANG still. TENSUNG giving off a bit more space on that back line than normal. Typically, it would have been met by 3 bodies as that ball came into the box, but right now, not the same story. Sangalegden plays it over to the flank. Sompunsa up front header. Keeps it towards Pelden, but seems like the big man was offside. Flag up, it will be TSIRANG's possession the other way. TSIRANG with a proper chance to wind up, but the shot does not connect as planned. Couldn't get the power, couldn't get the accuracy, and Rishnamgal's attempt floated all the way off to the left. Now back in action, Jimmy Punso. Plenty of offside calls coming in. Here at TENSUNG do have the tailwind coming in from behind them, so they may get a bit more lift on those long balls if they want to send it immediately up front. But now Fizolowale, a decent chance, mashed up one-on-one, but TENSUNG has regrouped, forced that shot away past Jimmy Punso, and it will go out for a TSIRANG throw-in. Smart play there from Fizolowale Oladipo. Brought into TSIRANG, for those of you unaware, as a trio over from Transport United. 3 foreign signings for the Fofana, Alex Willen and Fizolowale Oladipo came in. But for the Fofana, no longer a part of the squad. Not sure if Stefan Solin and Adash PJ, who was a primary starter for TSIRANG's early campaign, is a part of the squad either. They are not on the bench for today. Only Bijay Samal Chilepunso Singyawanshu, a couple of names you may know, on the bench for TSIRANG going into this match today. So they may want to utilize their starting 11 to their fullest, and right now they are not doing so. Alex Willen does muscle his way past for a one-on-one, but tried to get his shot angled over the goalkeeper. does not find success. Overhit it. A chance they may want to, they may regret sooner or later, as TENSUNG may now be brought alive with that effort coming in from Alex Willen. That bit of physicality, which is supposed to be TENSUNG's game, coming over their side, may not want to be a challenge they want to take easy. Bellin. Kinzang. Sompunso. Again, just look at that positioning from the big man again. The cross as well. Pinpoint towards their captain. And for the first attempt, not that bad. Bellin. Kinza. A bit of a ricochet between the two teams so far, as none have gained advantage. TSIRANG are forcing momentum to come their way ever so slightly with a bit of a rushed attempt here, a rushed attempt there. Will it be the answer they are looking for? Alex Willen again, strong enough, lanky as well. Just sheer length on those legs of his, giving him all the space in the world, so much protection. Well, he gets those dribbles going, but right now, man down for TSIRANG, evaluations underway. Strong challenge coming in from Bematochi. Cleaned up, down on the flanks now. They may be trapped, but Tenzwana, wanting that call, does not quite get it. It will be TENSUNG's ball. Chimpunso plays it towards the right where they have a bit more freedom. TENSUNG looking confident again. Have to respect that. That is not an identity they started off with. It is something they worked really, really hard. One can only imagine the training sessions they've been through trying to pick up this new attribute to their gameplay. Bema. Couldn't quite get it up front to Rinshnamge, and now TENSUNG securing possession. Kinza. Back to Kinza again. Sangilegden right now in midfield. They do have options in Lukiwan Shinamgel and Kaka. They could go to on the bench eventually if they need a bit more creativity in midfield. The Sangilegden has been their go-to in a rigid system like what TENSUNG has. Sangilegden has been a breath of fresh air. His ability to play long passes have opened up a lot of options, but right now, Afizolawale Oladipo with the chance to make it one, and he takes it ever so gladly. Six minutes it took him last game. 21 minutes it takes him this time around. A simple display of brute force. Muscled his way past that back line for a clinical finish in that one-on-one situation versus Yeze Toji, and TSIRANG will go up by 1. TENSUNG now on the back foot, may want to feel a bit of pressure, get a bit more chances, and get a bit more touches up front to their captain if they want to find a response soon. But again, still too early, no need to panic. But in the meanwhile, just take a look at this. Despite the weight on the forward, just dance around, floated around, past the defenders for a clean look on goal. TSIRANG, a few more goals away from cementing their spot above TENSUNG. If TSIRANG does win, they will only just join BF5 at 16 points. We are right above at 7, so not a major shift, but every point away from TENSUNG will be a point away from relegation as well. A real threat which TSIRANG are looking back towards as TENSUNG look to climb up. But with another corner, will TENSUNG finally find success, or will it be one more spell of disaster for the military boys? Sangilik then tasked with the delivery. Sompunso looking for contact, headed away. And TSIRANG managed to deal with the danger quite cleanly. TENSUNG able to keep play alive over on the other end, but now a 2-on-1 situation with Jimmy Punso in the middle. Olawale Oladipo has Rinchen down on the flank, did try to get a pass out, but a well-timed challenge will force that ball out and out of an outnumbered, outman, outgun situation. Just amazing senses coming in from Jimmy Punso, who saw that pass coming from a mile away. Afiz Olawale. A lot of options he could have gone. But it will still be TSIRANG 1, TENSUNG 0. TSIRANG now at the corner. Tenzumala. Cross comes in. It is straight down the middle. Header from Alex Willen. Finds a clearance from Kinle. Still inside the box. Kept in by Drigal Tamang. But not liking their odds that deep in. TSIRANG will go right back out. Alex Willen for a delivery from way far out. Will miss the mark by quite a margin. It will be a goal kick for TENSUNG and Ezetoji. Well, did have a bit of a hope there for TENSUNG, but right now 26 minutes in, no response against TSIRANG, who will get the possession to go up ahead. Sompunso, strong enough to force possession away. Kins are down on the left possession. touch taken way too heavy, but nimble enough to dance around those two. But forced that outlet, Alex within the recipient. But with Kinzang down, it will be a crucial chance for TENSUNG. Ligden again with the delivery. Quite shaky early on. This time does look like it is right in the middle, but forced a touch from TSIRANG. It will be a corner again. So much pressure right now on TSIRANG, who may feel like their lead is by no means safe as TENSUNG continues on to mount those opportunities against the southern side. Not much success. And with that, almost at the half an hour mark, it will be Antonio Dylan de Silva to launch it up. Sompunso, right inside, but no touch. It will be cleared off by TSIRANG, who now has Alex Willen, who is not able to rein that ball in. Possession out. It will be a throw in through Kinle Tsering. TENSUNG so far doing well without Sompunso and that backline, but Afizolawale, despite his goal early on, still hasn't been able to recreate the success or maybe even just a chance again. Had that 1-2-on-1 situation that was denied by Jimmy Punso, but now with Pelin on the flank, maybe a cross coming in. Sompunso, if he can get inside, but a closely contested possession will send that ball back the other way. TSIRANG able to make a clean escape and now in midfield. Chance. TENSUNG do get a high ball up, but it is over the box and over everybody else. TENSUNG. Tight pass. May have been a bit too far out, but back to Jimmy. Tampi Ernest facing that possession head on. Alex Willen. There's Wanda. That right flank completely open with Chucky drifting a bit far up. Can TSIRANG take advantage? It is straight towards Toji, who is able to take that straight into his hands. There's Wanda. On the flanks for TSIRANG. They try to force one in. Does end up fortunately over on the left side, in fact, but it is blocked off by Toji, and TSIRANG will have themselves a corner. There's Wanda. Cross comes in nonetheless. Header right hand side. Forces it down. Alex Willand over it again. The second time he's sent that ball all the way over to the basketball courts in the background. But still no signs of adjusting. Alex Willand having a tough game, but it is still inside. Still only right after the first half an hour of the game, so a lot more time remaining on the clock. For both these teams to pick up the tempo ever so slightly would make a world of difference. Tenzin. This may be the chance TSIRANG were banking on. Afeez does let it roll and could have tried to get at the end of it, but Afeez not liking the vision behind that pass. Will instead let it go over to TENSUNG, who forces one up front, can't quite get it to Sonampunso. Dampier Ernest putting himself up front alongside Alex Willand for a hopeful chance. It is a one-on-one, out of which Alex Willand plays a beautiful pass. Dampier Ernest! Tara regard for Toji just simply last one in. The third goal in 2 games for the centre-back is having a brilliant run up front for TSIRANG, who now go up 2 against TENSUNG. Simply an amazing pass from Alex Willand and a brilliant recovery from Afeez Olawale. Tampi making an amazing run off of that touch from Afeez Olawale on the depot. And TENSUNG one more step away from seeing hope, away from relegation zone. Sing. No advantage for TENSUNG in the last quarter of an hour. They did open the match with a lot of chances. Sompunso with that one ambitious attempt setting Antonio Dylan da Silva down. Didn't find advantage then. Since then, I'm not quite sure if there was a proper attempt. There was one header, in fact, from Sompunso that was on target, but just unfortunate, it was straight towards the goalkeeper. Then you can just hear the wind roaring over Tianjin here. They do have a bit of sun out right now. Again, just amazing the extremes of weather up here at MTC. There was one game versus Sukin Academy in round 1 where we had to stop the match due to an intense downpour. I do believe that was the only stoppage of the season. But just look at that shot again from Tampi Ernest. In the meanwhile, amazing connection between the trio up front. And no wonder Tampi Ernest got those 2 goals in versus BFF Academy. But TSIRANG will not be satisfied with just 39 minutes. And an ambitious attempt over Yazid Toji will not find success. Goal kick for TENSUNG. It's such a head up from TENSUNG. No success again. Kin Zhang had the responsibility of setting it up inside that box. Couldn't really find a decent angle to set up either Pelin or Sompunso. It went straight out for a goal kick for Antonio Dylan da Silva. TSIRANG, no rush, taking it slow with short passes. Just baiting the bit of presence near their box from TENSUNG. But on screen right now, Singawanshu, TSIRANG's number 10, their usual starting forward. Does seem like he is preparing to come into this match. Fiz Oladipo has Alex Willen making a clean run in. Is it Doji, however, gets to it first. Danger cleared off, 5 minutes remain. Decent chance piling up for TENSUNG, but Sompunso with that unfortunate stumble will not be able to get past for a shot, and TENSUNG lets it roll, and with that Singhe is coming in. Well, it seems like Tenzin Wanda, who I thought was going to stay in, is being taken out for Singawanshu.
Substitution for TSIRANG FC, jersey number 10, Singawanshu is replaced by jersey number 7, Tenzin Wanda.
Belden. Sompunso. got himself tangled up, couldn't get the shot he wanted, and it is taken out. It was one of the best chances they had all half. And Sonam just leaked to the swing. Chimpunso able to clear it away, but again, a moment of regret up front as Sompunso just missed completely with that swing. And TSIRANG will get the restart for the last 2 minutes of the match.
Consumer.
TENSUNG, the chance to go into the halftime break with the margin at least a little bit dealt with. Sange Legden, it is short, headed away by Kinza. Chance again for Legden. Right foot may take a while. Left foot should be the option. 2 more minutes. Awarded until the end of the first half. They do force a touch out. Not much success for Choki as Kinza is able to keep it alive. Throw in it will be for TENSUNG. Heavy touch on the line, cross coming in. Too far out. Bellin does get ahead, but had to lean too far back to even get a contact on that ball. And it will go out for Antonio Tillen da Silva. Straight in the middle, TENSUNG may get one last chance. 1 more minute left on the clock. Kinza. Bellin. Right over the edge. Kinza trying to play it into Pellin, but that left foot not enough power. Neither the angle available to him to force that pass in. The last 30 seconds are for TSIRANG. It is a beautiful whip. Puktoji single-handedly dealing with the two-pronged attack coming in from Mafiz. Straight on, and Alex Willen does get a shot off, blocked off by Yezidoji, headed out by Pope, but it is still Alex Willens to take, unless Kinzang is able to make a play on that ball. Recovered by Singhe, played out to Afiz, who gets a chance off of that fumble, left foot. Denied by Yez, chance may come again, but Afiz flicks it up, and now we are out of time. Not the direction he wanted to send that shot in. And with that, TENSUNG will keep TSIRANG to a 2-goal margin to close off the first half. Solid efforts from both sides. TENSUNG with a lot more chances today, but eventually may want some of them falling in past Antonio for a proper chance to escape the relegation zone. Again, a lot of hope for the military side, who are showing a new side to them as the season progresses. Still not too late to turn the tables around. Hopefully, TSIRANG is able to keep that in the back of their mind and not relax heading into the game in the second half. But that is where we are at right now. TSIRANG, 2 with goals coming in from Afiz Olawale Olatipo and Tampi Ernest. With that, see you guys when we're back in action in the second half.
Halftime score we have TENSUNG FC 2 and TSIRANG FC 2.
왕첸. 하나. 특집은이 마케팅 베스트
With that, ladies and gentlemen, Kuzuzangpo, and welcome back to the second half here at TENSUNG MTC, where we have TENSUNG FC defending against TSIRANG. So their second match of the second face-off of their season between the two. First round ended with a 3-0 victory for TSIRANG. That time did not have Sompunso then, and right now they do have Sompunso, but he is playing up front as a striker. We did see his awakening last game versus Ugin Academy. This game as well, already so many amazing attempts coming in from the big man, but just unfortunate that none of them have connected. Hopefully that is not the case here in the second half, where they are fighting off against a 2-0 lead for TSIRANG. Goals coming in from Hafiz Olawale Oladipo and Dampi Ernest have put them up by 2. So a bit more comfort for the visiting side, and not the same story for the defending home team, as the military boys will have to force 2 in to at least get a positive result. But a quick context before we dive any deeper into this match. TENSUNG are right now in relegation zone 9th. Their ranking 8, their points 5 away from TSIRANG. So 3 points today will mean that they get within a game of TSIRANG FC and have the chance to turn the tables on the southern side. So a lot of pressure on the result for today. But with that out of the way, we are now with possession for TENSUNG. Looking a bit ambitious up in front, but again, without finding success, without finding connections, all that effort will be for naught. TENSUNG looking promising in build-up at least. Chimupunso did not see him start the season with TENSUNG, but eventually did get his quality shown in quite amazing fashion as well. So hopefully that quality is an aspect to his game we continue to see today. There's Nado. Number 14 came in for Chokiwanchu. But TSIRANG will finally get a touch in after quite a long while. John Payne Sasha, formerly TSIRANG's captain. Right now the captain's armband with Antonio Dylan de Silva, the goalkeeper. It is a clean chance up front. Afizal Oladipo could have taken a chance if that chest was able to take away a bit of pressure off of that ball. But ended up rigging it all the way towards the goalkeeper, and now TENSUNG looking for advantage on the other end. Sompunta could not get it away from John Payne Sasha. But does well helping out, put a bit of pressure on that pass, and now Sange legged and able to pick apart the leftovers. Tampi Ernest. Pressure is clean. Still Tampi Ernest. Singh signaling it back towards John Payne Sasha, who will force it long. Straight over to Afizal Oladipo on that left flank, taking on that assignment. Puptoji has been successful so far. Number 19 for TENSUNG will continue to do so. TSIRANG losing the advantage they had. TENSUNG now grouped up to put up a bigger fight against TSIRANG. Still a bit chaotic, still a bit hectic between the two. Out of that situation, TENSUNG comes out with possession first. Kinle able to force a touch off of Rinchen Namgyal. Is able to get it towards Kinzang on that left flank. Chance for TENSUNG. They do have the numbers up front they need, but cannot quite get past step one. A clean defensive effort will send that ball out for a corner for TENSUNG FC. Nado setting it up. TENSUNG, that cross looks clean. Is past Antonio, who is able to get a hand on it. At least Pellet fighting past the two in the way, but TSIRANG now has possession. Rinchen Namgyal forcing it off of Pellet. Does get the last touch off of TENSUNG. It will be a throw-in for the southern side. Man down up front for TSIRANG. Phuptoji called out with a yellow card for that challenge. And now TSIRANG, despite the lead they have, will get yet another opportunity. 53 minutes in, courtesy of Afiz Olawale Oladipo. Right at the edge of the box there again, Phuptoji with a bit of elevation, using Afiz Olawale as a platform, in fact, to get a bit more air. Alex Willen. Wind may be a decisive factor in how he deals with that set-piece opportunity. So, seems like it will be Alex Willen. Tampy Ernest posted up right at the edge of the wall. May look to turn around, set up that right foot of his. Alex instead plays this all the way over, and then TSIRANG Kelson a bit short on the execution. Had a marvelous vision. Propped up on a proper stance. But again, without much success, it will go right back over the other way. Sompunso. Does he have enough pace? Does he have enough technique in him to get that ball up front? Does end up getting help over from Pelin, which was the smart choice, which does now allow Sompunso to post up inside the box. So many shots that did not connect for the big man already. Hopefully he is able to stay disciplined, keep that positioning he put on display over versus Ugin Academy to full use today here at home. If he does, it may just be the formula for their matches going forward and for the match at hand now. Legden. Cross. Way too short. Cleared off by TSIRANG. TENSUNG may want to get possession back as quickly as they can, but handball call on TSIRANG will give TENSUNG yet another opportunity. Well, advantage for Nida as TENSUNG still not able to find a proper attempt past Antonio Dylan da Silva. It is still continuing to bother with their efforts, but hopefully this time, this corner can give them at least a bit of hope, because right now the match has stagnated for quite a while. Sange Legden. Cross looks like it is decent. Header comes in. TENSUNG making an appeal for a last touch from TSIRANG, but with that miss, I'm not quite sure if they will get the benefit of the doubt. TSIRANG's goal kick to take forward. TENSUNG. Quick restart down on the flanks. Will they find advantage? Pelden unable to get a touch on it. And possession is turned over quite immediately. TENSUNG. Still a chance again. Eventually may find some success soon. They do get their hopes up with a decent cross in Sompunso. Late to the follow-up, but a volley may be coming in from Likitandin. But Kille has the chance, but it is taken away quite clean. Druvel Tamang to force it up. Likitandin was responsible for setting up Sompunso in an amazing situation. Last game versus Okan Academy, this time hasn't seen much success Sangelikden. The same story for the midfielder as well. Antonio, an hour on the clock. TSIRANG has a fees with the pace advantage in that backline. They do have Rinchanamga for the support. Cross goes straight in. And all it takes is a touch from Singe Wancho to make it 3. An amazing setup by a fees. And an amazing bit of sense from Singe Wancho came in as a substitution for Tenzin Wanda. 16 minutes in. We'll get the chance to put a celebration up on display. It is a team effort this time. We'll get a team picture out of that one. And now TENSUNG down 1 more. 3 for TSIRANG, 0 for TENSUNG. Listen to the winds roar. In the meanwhile, a look at Singe's goal. Just amazing connection between the two, but TENSUNG, on the other end, not quite seeing the same bit of success. Pemadoji. Throw-in keeps it over for TENSUNG. 64 minutes in. TENSUNG, they are getting their fair share of shots up, but their issue is that they have not necessarily been the most effective or maybe even efficient at all. No conversions despite the many shots they have gotten here in this match. May get one more, but Sompunso, a hard touch from the big man, sends it all the way back in midfield for Likitanen to poke it out towards Alex Willen, who now gets possession by way of Tampionis. Alex Willen down on the flanks. Still Alex Willen. Alex Willen, right foot winding up. Shot comes up, but misses the mark by quite a margin. Was a nice bit of skill separating himself from all those defenders to at least open up an angle for a shot. But unfortunately, it could not connect. TSIRANG's throw-in, contested. Alex Willen tangled up against Kinle, and now advantage taken over by Likitanen. Has Sompunso straight up, not a space he wants to be in, but he does connect up front with... Oh, top gear, but that will not be enough as it is back in the safe hands of Antonio Dylan da Silva. Alex Willen sent down on the ground. Jimmy Punso making his appeal, but the referee has already given the call over to TSIRANG, who will get quite an opportunity again. That left arm, probably the culprit of the play right now, as Singhe. Look like he will be the one responsible for the delivery, and a yellow card towards Jimmy Punso from TENSUNG. Earlier recipient was Puptochi, and right now Jimmy Punso with one more to TENSUNG's tally for the card. Close call for TSIRANG. won't have much time to think about it as we have a man down for TENSUNG. Again, simple execution, that left foot. Plenty of power to bother Miezedoji ever so slightly. But it will be a corner moving on for TSIRANG. This time, man down for TSIRANG. We have approached a bit of a slow point here in this game as TENSUNG continue on with their blunders. Again, decent enough that they are getting a lot of chances, but eventually may want to see some of them falling in to at least get their hopes up a little bit in the last 20 minutes of the game. Chance. For TSIRANG down on the flanks, but again, not able to find any success at all. But not really a matter of urgency for the TSIRANG side, who look like they have this win pretty much in the bag unless TENSUNG can come up with a miracle of their own. Chance on the other end, but no success again. Sompunso just a step too behind on that attempt coming in. Trigel Tamang. Over to Alex Billin. Get back towards Kinza. TENSUNG setting for a ball deep in, but no success again. Antonio Dylan da Silva. TENSUNG. Still 4 minutes in, quarter of an hour left again. So far, this match dwindling back and forth. Chances are coming both ways. TENSUNG are getting their responses in, but it has been TSIRANG, in fact, looking the more clinical. Sompunso, not in that back line, is making it a bit hard for TENSUNG, who as a team are held down by the big man, but with him up front as their only option, with him having to do everything on the ground at once. It is a tough ask as TENSUNG gets a proper test in this time around. Shot came in decent. Sompunso, his defender habits, setting it up for Dylan for the goal kick. But in the meanwhile, just look at that shot that came in from Liktanen. Drigel Tama. Played in. Alex keeps it towards Drigel. Not much space up front. Will have to settle back for a pass towards Kinzang. It is a bit risky, but barely manages to avoid any sort of pressure. Alex Willen. Held on to by Likitanen up front. Toji doing well, covering that lane. And with that, it is back out to Toji. TENSUNG tried to switch it over, but clipped the body in the middle. They want to try again. They want to play it up to Sompunso, who is able to hit it back. Maybe a chance finally. Belden down on the right, has Sompunso right inside. May want to settle for a cross early. Overhead. But does not hit the mark. Ambitious efforts coming in with that sort of heaven on top kick. Was the guy that closed off the match versus Sugan Academy with the winning goal in the 60th minute. Right now found himself in just the right spot for that overhead. Thought it was overhit. Thought the target was going to be Sompunso. But did well with what they could. A bit more than 10 minutes remain. Kinle. No advantage pass. All those defenders right down the middle. And now on the other end, TSIRANG. Burst past the right foot, comes in. Missed the mark. And TSIRANG will have to wait a while for their fourth. Jimmy. Still keeping it in again. TSIRANG so far doing well with what they have. 10 minutes remain on the clock. 3 goals up. Should be pretty much a sealed win here for the southern side. But right now, TENSUNG still may at least want to blitz a couple in. Last time Sompunso was able to get his 2 goals in inside the first half. So we at least know that he is capable of blitzing maybe 1, maybe 2 in. Bellin, Sonampunso, shot is blocked off, and now TENSUNG still try again with that right foot, but way too ambitious with that shot. It will go right out for no advantage. Bellin inside TSIRANG's half. So it's a beautiful one. A crossover to the left. They now with Sompunso inside. He is the bait. Likitanen sets it up. In fact, for Tampi Ernest to take up front. Chance. TSIRANG with a blitz up front. Afiz Olawale Oladipo does not get the touch he wants to get it past Toji, and with that TENSUNG have possession. But in the meanwhile, Oladipo is down. TENSUNG, a bit more than 5 minutes remain. Possession, rushes it with a shot. Again, similar result. Ends up way too far out. It will be an easy restart for TSIRANG. Lekitandin kept back towards Pupdoji. TSIRANG, a lot of numbers inside. Alex Willen, possible target. Has a lot of space, kept away from Yezer. Tries to still take it away. Goalkeeper out of the equation, but too many defenders in. Makes up for it. Singiwacho left foot. Not on target. TENSUNG. A lot of promise heading into this match from the way of TENSUNG, who had a stellar victory over Bhutan Academy in their last outing, but right now the struggles seem to be continuing on. Is it Oji? Harsh collision, Sonam Punso. Does look like he will be able to get right back up. However, the chance to close out this match for TENSUNG, who will get one more corner. Sange Legden hasn't been able to find Som Punso in an advantageous position till now. This time Mahera keeps it away from the box again. Kilnet sitting outside, cross. Yes, nice! Not from the personnel they were expecting it to come from. But they somehow make it work anyways. Caught me at a loss of words as well. Thought that situation was beyond salvageable, beyond any hope of rescue. But they still do manage to find an answer in nonetheless. Now on top game, we'll have the two most recent goals for TENSUNG and the one here in this match versus TSIRANG. 89 minutes all it took him to do so. But today is a consolation worthy of note. As TENSUNG will now have their hopes up for one more play on the ball. They could bring the gap down to 1 and make it a tight gap in stoppage time. TSIRANG, having none of it, try again on the right flank. A lot of numbers inside. 3 minutes of additional time on the clock before we end the match. TENSUNG able to pick away with that ball in midfield. TSIRANG putting pressure. Alex Billen not lacking the odds going forward. Just unfortunate with how that ball was played out. TENSUNG will lose possession over to TSIRANG. Chance again. Header does connect, but it is sent out. A minute and a half remain. TENSUNG may look to pick it up. Sang Elegden able to keep it towards a teammate. Nado plays it in. Belden back over to the left, but it is straight towards Drugel Tamang, who had a fantastic read on that pass coming in. Fizzle Oladipo in the last few seconds of the game, making things look very, very dangerous. But TENSUNG barely escape. At the mercy of the referee, may have one more possession for TSIRANG to work with. Singhet takes it quick. Drugel unable to find advantage past TENSUNG. And with that, that will be it for the day. A lot of hopes coming into this match, especially for TENSUNG, who looked like they finally had found the answer to their issues up front, their missing pieces up front. But only one will be the production from TENSUNG against TSIRANG's 3, who will get away with 3 more points, climbing up to 16 right alongside BFF, extending the deficit to now 8 between 9th and 8th place. TENSUNG continuing on 8 points to their name. Wigan Academy still at bottom with 4 points. Exciting showdown, but a lot left on the table to be desired. But hopefully TENSUNG are able to figure it out. They are heading towards the right direction. Hopefully these efforts are not too late. With that, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much for your love and support. See you guys next time we're up in action.
कहिले